and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's live stream. We will be live very shortly. Let me just get everything ready. Headphones on for Mr. Helgi. Let me sign into my Discord. I alt-tabbed and it got stuck. It's still stuck. Because the game wants me to join the server. And there's Mr. Helgi. Good evening, Mr. Helgi.
Good evening.
And I just need to make sure that I refresh that page there. So then I can see the stream in the Google. Google is live. Should be all good to go. So that's on and working. It's all looking very promising tonight. Everything looks to be fixed. I've even got me proper controller working tonight, my wired one. I ain't got to use the wireless one. Amazing how they all started magically working again after I finished playing last night.
How is that going to... I mean, it's a digital unit. How is it not working or working?
I don't know. Like I say, yesterday they weren't working. And then I was having to use the...
they had weekend.
I had the wireless one yesterday playing with.
Yesterday was Monday, not Sunday.
Yeah. And then, weirdly, after I finished playing last night and after I turned off the wireless controller, all my other ones started working.
Jesus Christ.
I just don't believe it. My wheel... In fact, my wheel started working as I was playing because I was actually using the wheel. And that should have made me think, hang on a minute. This wasn't working before. I've also got Domino's pizza for me dinner tonight. That's just...
So that wheel started working because of the wireless?
I have no idea.
You switched off, or?
I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was going on.
I don't think that's the solution, the wireless controller.
No.
Why would that mess up the other controller?
Well, the only thing I could think of is when I installed the software, that DS4 Windows and the Xbox One previously to that, it tried to install some software to do with buses and hardware interface devices and stuff like that, and I don't know whether some of that stuff may have messed up my USBs, because certainly after I installed the 360 software, all my USB devices just disappeared, including all like my hard drives and everything. So I was like, yeah, that's not good. And there was a couple of times yesterday when, as I was trying to get things working and trying to fix stuff, that I restarted my computer a couple of times, and a couple of times it didn't. It shut down, but then it didn't start back up again. It just kind of sat there. All the lights were on, but it didn't like restart. So then I had to power it off, power it on again. Of course, when you do that straight away, then the next time you switch it on, it goes, oh, I didn't start up correctly. Please run the setup, because I may have done something wrong. So I had to go into that a couple of times, and then eventually I got into Windows. But as I say, the only controller I could get working yesterday was the wireless one until late last night, when suddenly the wheel started working as I was playing, and then after I finished playing, everything started working. So right now I'm back on the wired controller, which is my preferred one. But this is the new one. This is the orange one. It's not the one with the dodgy triggers, the black one, which is the older of the two controllers. Because if you remember, I used to have that like see-through controller with the blue lights.
Yeah.
And when that one went wrong, I replaced it with the black one from my PlayStation. And now that one's gone wrong, so I've replaced it with the orange one from the PlayStation. And now my PlayStation doesn't have a controller. So where is everybody? Mr. Helgi's down there doing all sorts of stuff at the shop.
I was selling 2 loads of steamed potatoes.
Steampotatoes.com.
Each at around 180,000. I sold 2 loads of digestate, but it doesn't really pay much. It's just about 8,000 something.
Yeah, it just keeps things ticking in, doesn't it, really?
But it was, last time I sold was more than 10,000.
Price must have gone down, has it? There's only one place that buys it, so it kind of, it pretty much controls the market. It has the monopoly, yeah, $147. It's why I need to install that other mod that gives me that extra sell point that I can drop down somewhere on the map. And then that would free things up a bit. And then that would give us a bit more options, because that accepts every single thing that's ever been released for Farm Sim on any map. I'm not sure if it has the, it might not have the placeable factory stuff in it, though. I'd have to check that. I don't know if it has the sunflower oil, chips, all that kind of stuff. Support for. Not terribly difficult.
I finished, by the way, I finished the second, what is it? Scenario in cattle and crops.
You finished a scenario?
Yeah, 5.
I haven't.
Yeah, 5 scenarios.
Still haven't started them yet. I'll be honest.
And I've done 2. The second one is grass, hay, bales, and selling the bales.
Because I still need to finish off all the actual tutorials and get all the certificates first.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. I just can't bring myself to play it, you know.
Oh, it's such a fantastic game.
Yeah, such a fantastic game.
In 10 years.
So fantastic. I just can't bring myself to do it.
It will be better than Farm Sim in 10 years.
Could be. You never know.
Yeah, pretty sure. If they keep going, when they have my money, they have your money.
Just don't know. I just like playing Farm Sim. I really do.
You are waiting for the next DLC, the John Deere DLC, or something like that.
Playing Farm Sim. Farm Sim's a complete game at this point.
Yeah, sure.
And it has enough different things within it that you can keep yourself occupied, whereas I think cattle and crops will get very repetitive very quickly.
The alpha is finished on one row. Field 10 needs fertilizing.
Do we own Field 10?
It's a grass field.
One you mowed yesterday evening. Not been fertilised yet.
Have you fertilized anything?
Not today.
Yeah, but why is Field 1 fully fertilized then?
Because that was sprayed.
Yeah, I harvested it also yesterday.
I sprayed it yesterday. But I didn't spray Field 10.
Why not?
Because I forgot all about it, I think it got that late in the evening that I logged out. After doing my ploughing contract, which took ages. Did that lovely ploughing contract. I won that Name the Song game.
Do you empty the food machines?
I could do.
No, I mean, are you doing it or not? Have you done it?
I haven't done it today yet, no. Because at the moment I'm just filling them
Because
up
they are
first.
eating the stuff, and they're eating the stuff, but something coming out.
Yeah, there's stuff coming out of them, yeah. I'm just filling them up first. And then I will take whatever cow food has been produced and whatever pig food has been produced and drop it in the silo for the time being. I need to make sure I put all the stuff and things in the silos.
So what is happening in the scenarios? You get less guidance, but instead of doing just 1 or 2 rows, you have to do the whole field.
Yeah, you have
That's
to
the
do the
difference.
whole thing.
Please mow this field, and when you mowed this field, now mow the other field as well.
It's
You know
open.
how to do it
It's
now.
mixing.
Oh my god.
Lid's open. It's mixing. You know it's working. The lid opens.
The lid opens.
It opens on top of the machine. Eventually you start to see the stuff coming out of the pipes. All the food in there. Probably won't do it because I'll probably need to empty it. That's what I'll probably need to do.
And it's about time you buy some cows. Or some some pigs.
Probably ought to get a trailer.
For what?
Transporting animals. See, there we go, look.
Jesus. The trailer is more expensive than 10 deliveries. Yeah.
Hay,
It's
straw and
mixing.
silage is going in, look.
Keep filling it up.
Doesn't output very fast. Takes a long while to fill this trailer. Let's have a look then. Cows, cows, cows. What do the cows run at? Let's have a look. Shall we have some black cows? Are they $2.5 to buy? And they cost $500 to move. $20 delivery charge for a bunch of cows. How many have I got? How many did I just buy? 40. So now if I get...
Do you want to do a cotton harvest?
on field 17.
Yeah. Are you saying something, or are you?
I'm thinking. Because
Okay.
it would
I
take.
didn't hear you think.
It would take all night. No, you won't
You
hear me.
sure?
You won't hear me think today, Mr. Helgi, because I've oiled the hamster's wheel.
Okay.
I've oiled the hamster's wheel, so you don't get that squeak anymore when I'm thinking, and he's pedaling like mad. I suppose if I've got total mixed ration, the first thing I should probably do with this then is go and put it in the cow pen now I've bought cows. I'm going to have to give them all the food. Something else to take care of now. Give them some water. But that's barely even touched the sides of the animal trough. But those cows need fucking millions of litres of food.
Oh man, they need straw. I bring some straw.
Oh, 45,000 litres of total mixed ration. Barely even gets, still in red. Still in the red. Not enough.
So we have straw in the silo, I guess.
Regular straw should be in the silo, yeah. 395,000 litres of it.
Yeah, they also take something else, don't they?
They take loads of stuff.
I mean, they take other straw as
Alpha
well.
silage, dry alpha windrow grass, hay pellets.
That's what they take. So where's the straw? Over here?
No, it's in the silo next to the animals where I am.
Is there no straw here?
I moved all the straw. I should have moved all the straw to this one. Should have done.
Yep, there's nothing in it.
Plenty of alfalfa windrow. Plenty of dry alfalfa, I would have thought. More TMR out of this machine, I think.
So give them whatever they want, and then the rest I can put in the TMR machine. The rest of the straw. It will mix TMR in the same ratio always?
In the machine, yeah. In the machine,
okay.
Like I say, a mixing wagon would give you alternative options.
Mm-hmm.
But not in a way that's really going to benefit us, I don't think. Because we're always going to need hay and silage. Draw in the TMR machine as well. See if there's any more TMR in the silo. Should be.
So where do I put the straw?
In the trigger for the straw, which is probably
Really?
a bit further down.
Is it?
I think it is.
Trigger for the straw?
Yeah, wherever you would blow the straw into the pen. So it's either this one here, where I am now, won't be any of those because that's the milk trigger and the food trigger. I think it's the one behind the little mixing machine that you've just run into and run over.
Yeah, I moved it away because it's in the way.
No, it's not. The trigger you want is the other side of it. That's where you load the cows.
Ah.
So you've smashed into our Manitou for no reason. You asshole.
It was in my way anyway.
It wasn't in anybody's way, this machine. Machine's a lovely little machine. It's not bothered anybody.
It had it coming.
Stuff tonight, it just got yobs on the freaking farm.
It had it coming. Oh, feel it.
Good straw. I need dry alfalfa windrow.
Yes. Okay. TMI is full. Somebody's in the way. Let me push him away. Well, not enough. What's this TMI?
Got dry alfalfa windrow. So hopefully that should be all 3 boxes ticked now on the cows.
Try alfalfa.
All 3 bars have got something in them.
Hey. What is alfalfa? Silage? Okay, silage. I wish this menu would stay where I left it. Like, I'm in the cows, I go out, go back in. They already produced 208 liters of what's it called? Slurry.
Cows are already pooping, everybody.
So, shall I put some hay in as well?
Yeah. Bit of everything in there. Pull the bars up a little bit. I'm not worried about filling them right the way up because they will consume all of the stuff we've got if we try to do that. I'm not even going to attempt it. Yeah,
so what would we produce now in the oops. What would we produce as dry from the alfalfa? Dry or windrow?
Gonna have to keep doing a mixture of both. We are, because we'll need dry alfalfa to feed them, and then we'll need alfalfa windrow to also be able to make the alfalfa silage. I'm gonna need a bit of a mixture of everything. That will keep them going for now. Got water, they've got their straw, so the cows will be happy. They'll be making lots of poop. We'll keep our greenhouses going as well, which will be nice.
I mean, you can also put some silage.
Big food machine. Loading that back up with stuff, because that's
But
what
we
I
have
do.
also, is there silage in the other machine at the hay farms?
No, it should be in the silo next to you, if there's any silage, because I would have transferred it up.
But we can also keep it as it is right now. Wow,
I think the
400,000 liters.
stuff in the fermenting silo by the hay barn, I think I sold all that. I'm sure I did that the other night, but not before making sure I put a couple of trailer loads into the silo for our use. I kind of halved and halved it. What have you got there? Silage.
You know what the pigs need? We will know when we have the pigs, right?
Quite like to get the machine running. Nice to have a stockpile of food. Because as we've seen with the TMR, we hadn't made a lot of TMR. We bought the cows a bit premature. Because we didn't really have enough stuff built up to feed them.
It will be fine.
It'll be fine. Once Mr. Helgi does a few harvesting jobs, it'll be fine. Shame there's no grass mowing contracts on this map, or alfalfa mowing contracts, really. Would have been a nice way for us to get a bit extra. We ought to have words with Stevie and say, "Oi, Stevie, next map you make, chuck on some, chuck on a few of them, you know, grass contracts and alfalfa contracts. We can do baling contracts." Get plenty of extra stuff. I'll bring some sugar beets down to the pig food machine. I'm wondering if this machine is clever enough to take like 30,000 litres of sugar beet, 30,000 litres of potatoes, and 30,000 litres of corn, and use them like one at a time. Is it not clever? Never used these feeding machines before. New ones, they're not ones I would normally use. These ones are quite basic, I think. Compared to like some of the global company ones I've used in the past. wheat and barley. Don't have any oats. So I can't give them any of that. No soybeans or canola. Give them any of that either.
No, we sold everything. We sold everything. The next harvest is going into these machines. So.
It's fully fed. Bigger. Food. So right now I can't actually
No, pigs shouldn't.
Pig machine.
No, I don't think it works. So.
Start the pig food machine then. Anything to put in that last machine? I've got a little bit of sunflower, I suppose. That'll about do it. Makes me wonder then what we're going to do tonight. What have we got? Well, there's cotton harvesting, but sadly we can't feed it cotton to the animals.
There's one barley harvest.
There's one potato harvest on field 15.
Really? Well, it's a small field. Oh, you could do it.
Wheat harvest field 31.
Field 29
field
needs
26.
barley.
Barley on 29. Was there another harvest up here for barley as well? Yes, field 16 has barley as well. So there's 2 wheat harvests and 2 barley harvests available. How far away are our fields from being harvested?
No.
They were dark green.
Totally. Probably tomorrow I can't do anything. I mean, we don't have to do every day. For sure.
Field 10's been fertilised now, so that's been done.
Oh, let's do some contracts. I can do the potato contract. You can start with the whatever, barley, wheat, whatever you want. Or maybe all 4 and I join in. What do you think?
Do indeed. Yes then, I've now got oats. Right, let me put the oats into the pig food machine. Or will it tell me full? A lot of the machines used to let you put like 30,000 of the wheat, 30,000 oats, 30,000 barley, and then it would use what it had available. This machine's just like, no, I only take 1 at a time. I'm gonna need sunflowers from the other silo to get that pig food machine started. And go do start one of the harvestings. Get straw as well. Regular old straw. Load of silage with it, perhaps. And feed the cows. Am I reading that? Oh, where is that then? Where is the 24,000 litres of sunflowers? Sunflowers. Not in the farm silo. This one? I want to check this one. Oh, they are in this one. Okay. This should get the machine going. So, folks, pig food will be produced. Right, let me go grab a harvester. Let me go grab a contract. Accept 16. So the other barley one was 29. To get me get myself onto. 16's not far away. That's just right next to where Mr. Helgie's doing the potatoes. Stop humming and singing because I'll get copyright struck. It's going to be quieter tonight without the name of the song game. Damn, them scumbags. On last night's stream, I got 44 copyright strikes.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That. And one of them, it even blocked the video, so it can't even be played on YouTube.
The video?
Yeah, the company that owns the stream, that owns the song or whatever, has decided, nope, you can't even have it played on YouTube. It's blocked. Okay. Spoil the fun. Even though none of those songs that were played last night were real songs by real bands. They were all just cover versions and instrumentals done by one person who's not a professional. Need to get down to field 16. Can I get into that field from field 11?
Yep, you can. You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it, Nicky. Cut his head off. Alfalfa. I think field 9's grown weird like that because I think when you mowed it, you must have mowed that one strip, one row, at just the moment that the growth cycle changed.
Yeah.
So you must have mowed it and it must have instantly then grown like one layer. And then
Somehow.
you harvested the rest of the field and it's all one stage behind.
Contract finished.
Contract complete. Am I gonna go in here and then turn around and come back out this gate? Because I don't see another. Oh no, there is a gate down here as well. Could have used if I wanted. Hey look, tonight with my proper controller I can open up my combine header without the camera spinning round. Amazing. Is this contract complete yet?
Can't do any potato straws, was.
No potato straw?
No.
I think you could if you tried harder.
The only thing that is left is some soup, vegetables.
Vegetable soup. "28th of October tomorrow."
It's almost Christmas.
Christmas time again.
Time to make the Christmas decoration in Farm Sim.
I'll put all the Christmas mods back on. The Christmas tree mod and the Santa hat mod.
Hats, yeah. And Santa hats. And the O Tannenbaum song.
On the Christmas tree. Oh,
Yeah.
Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Do, 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 do. Why's that got through the mod hub testing? I thought that would be copyright.
Maybe it's not a copyrightable song anymore.
No, but some scumbag will try and make out they own it. And that's the problem with all these platforms like Twitch and YouTube. The scumbag who comes along and says, "Oh, I own the rights for that song." Straight away, YouTube and Twitch go, "Oh, yes, you do. That's fine. We will give you all the ad revenue and all the money."
It's a business, that's it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I was YouTube or Twitch and someone came along and said, oh, that song, I own it, I would say, where's your proof?
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove that you own it. Show me some documentation, some legally binding contract that says you own that specific piece of music.
And they say, yes, we prove it in court. So
YouTube and Twitch, who are massive multi-billion-dollar companies, should go, okay, then we'll see you in court.
Yeah.
That's what it needs. It just needs one case to go through court and clear up all this copyright issue, and then everybody would be free to get on and do what they do. But these companies get away with it because nobody's stood up to them yet. Everybody just rolls over. But the fact a company can turn around and go, oh, by the way, I own the rights to this song, and I'm sat there thinking, well, yeah, if that song was, if the song I was playing was being performed by that band, and they were singing it, then that's fine. But all the songs I was playing last night were not done by the people that...
Yeah, but still there is a license. If in case we as a chorus decide to sing a song, we have to buy the song text and the notes, and for that the company or the club has to pay money, and you shall not copy it or something else. I mean, because I have it on my iPad, it's illegal. But I have it on my iPad because that's a copy or a scan or whatever. And for that, somebody pays license fees.
But again, that's where the copyright law's a little bit out of date and a little bit sort of not in touch with the real world anymore. And it's why these companies get away with everything. Because like I say, on YouTube and on Twitch, it's got to the stage now where a company can come along and go, that song sounds a bit like, a little bit similar to a song that we own, so therefore we own that one too. And that's not right.
Definitely.
They should only own the exact specific song that they have, you know, purchased the rights for. This whole business of, oh, because it matches in composition, melody and tune, we own it too.
I think you should get a license. You should try to get a license for all the 7 notes. And that's it. You use one of our notes. Copyright.
C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Then what about all the flats and the sharps?
And the half tones as well.
And the double crotchets and
the C1, the C2, the C3 and whatever. And whoever whistles in the toilet or under the shower has to pay copyright. So give me money. I'm the filthy richest man in life, on earth, in the universe.
what I need is Doc Brown's time machine. I need the DeLorean. I need to go back in time and I need to just copyright music. Full stop.
Yeah.
Anybody who ever plays any kind of music, anytime anyone plays an instrument, anytime anybody hums, whistles or sings a tune, you owe me money.
Yeah. You know, you play a music at a funeral and somebody sues you. Wow. You have the copyright.
Although it'd be easy,
well, you can sue the dead one.
It'd be easy to find out who was suing you though, because at the moment you're only allowed 30 people at a funeral because of COVID.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird. Which is a bit weird again, because you're only allowed to have 6 people round your house. But you can go to a funeral where there's 30 people.
Yeah, at a bigger distance in a larger room.
So what I'm going to do this year on Christmas Day is I'm going to hold a special funeral for the turkey. And then all my family can come round. And then all my family can come round on Christmas Day then. And we'll have a special funeral. We'll have a special funeral for the turkey. I mean, technically, we are cremating it.
No. It's next to the cemetery then.
We're technically cremating it. It goes in an oven and it's set on fire till it's black. So...
You have to put it in a coffin first.
No
to
problem.
give some fuel.
Put it in a cardboard box and say it's one of them organic biodegradable funerals. One of those environmentally friendly cremations.
Who parked the truck so close? Me.
So I've racketed through this field. Bish bash bosh.
Quicker than me.
There's all these. I just hope that all these barley contracts don't want selling at the same place. Where do these want to be sold when I'm done? Jeeves Mill. And then Jeeves Mill. So both contracts want to go to the exact same sell point. Okay. Be a bit interesting then. Buildings. Really check when I had the menu open. 29. Where on the map? Right down the bottom. Why do I keep talking like this?
No idea. Because of the funeral?
I'm tired. Did Formula 1 today. That's worn me out.
Yeah, I think so.
That's so physical, that game. I've got about an hour and 50 minutes of video that I've got to try and edit down to fit in one video. Oh, so long. So many crashes. So many turnings around. Don't like that track. Don't like Singapore. Not for me. I think if it's one of them races that if it didn't take place at night, which gives it that kind of variety and gives you that like something that makes it different.
Yeah.
You wouldn't race there in the daytime because it's a crap circuit. Never mind the fact that it's freaking so freaking long as well, the race, because there's so many laps around a crap circuit.
But then, I mean, you earn millions doing this race.
I don't.
Well,
not where I finished. Not where
a professional
I
racer who thinks exactly the same as you do.
Professional racers.
Racer, not racist.
Professional racers. Yeah.
I'm a professional racist. I'm a professional racer.
It was funny today seeing Lando Norris having to make a public apology.
Really?
Yeah, he was forced into making an apology today because of some of the comments he made at the weekend.
Some racist comment?
Not racist, no. He was a bit... when he was interviewed after Sunday's race, like all the other drivers, obviously one of the questions that came up was, how do you feel about Lewis Hamilton taking 92 race wins and now being the all-time leading, you know, race winner in Formula One? And Lando was like...
boring.
Lando was like, I don't really care. He says, at the end of the day, he's only got to beat 2 cars, he says. I expect him to win every race. I'm more surprised when he don't. And apparently that was deemed disrespectful, so he's had to apologise for that. And then he's also had to apologise for calling Lance Stroll a dickhead and a see you next Tuesday on the radio.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. The Lance Stroll crashed into him during the race. He was very upset on the radio. Of course, he's had to apologise for that.
I mean, they have to understand things like that.
But then it was funny because today I was watching the Twitch Quartet quiz on Sky Sports, where Lando, Charles Leclerc, Alex Albon and George Russell were being basically quizzed by one of the Sky Sports presenters, one of the female presenters, because they're the famous Twitch streamers who do Formula One. So there was like a little quiz show that they were in, being asked all about their adventures on Twitch and stuff. And again, quite a few times, Lando made some comments, and you thought, "Ooh, that's a little bit," you know, it's a little bit close to the mark there.
Yeah. I mean, he's young.
Because like the woman asked one question. She says, right, she says, there are two cars, 2 identical cars. One is driving at 60 miles per hour. One is driving at 40 miles per hour. And Lando goes, oh, it's Max and Alex. And of course, Alex is like right there, and he's like, that's a bit harsh.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't say who is what, who is who. No.
And then there was one question where she starts the question by going, George Russell at Mugello continued his record of never, and Lando Norris jumped straight in and went, never scored a point in Formula One. But no. When the woman finished the question, it was continued his record of never having been out-qualified by a teammate. And then it was like, and then there was a question. She asked a question about what speed did George Russell do through the last corner of his qualifying lap in Mugello? And she read out, I think she said something like 225 kilometers an hour, 255 kilometers an hour, or 275 kilometers an hour. And Lando just turns around straight away and says, you're saying that in kilometers an hour to try and make it sound faster, aren't you? He says to the latent person, 275 sounds really fast, but he says when you put it into miles per hour, it's not that quick.
could have said 275 kilometers. We never drove that far.
But it's so funny how many people just don't understand the difference. It's like I was like looking at the comments on this video earlier, and there was a person there who didn't seem to understand the difference between miles per hour and kilometers per hour, and I said to him, "Okay," I says, "Let's have a race." I says, "Let's have a race. I'll do 200 miles per hour. You can do 200 kilometers an hour. Would that be fair? Would that be fair?" And this guy says, "Yes." I says, "Really?" Yeah. He goes, "Yes." I says, "So you're saying that if I can cover 200 miles in 1 hour and you can cover 200 kilometers in the same hour, that's fair?" He goes, "Yes." And I went, "Wow, you're going to be very disappointed then, aren't you?" I says, "You do realise that a mile is a much bigger distance of measurement than a kilometre?"
I think it's 1.6 times, isn't it? Then there's the nautical mile and the blah blah mile and the blah blah mile, because you can't decide. I mean, in kilometers, it's clearly a kilometer. It's 1,000 meters. It's on water, in the air. It's everywhere the same. But the mile, you never know.
Yeah, that's what this guy then started going on about. He goes, "Well, I use kilometres because I know it's 1,000 meters to the kilometre, whereas it's like 8,000 and something feet to a mile." I went, "I'm not arguing about the distance of measurement." I says, "When I'm driving down the road in my car, I'm not driving along thinking, oh, how many meters am I doing? Or how many feet am I doing? All I want to know is how many miles am I doing per hour? I'm only worried about speed."
But then, if you have speed control everywhere, like in the US, it doesn't matter. The speed doesn't matter anymore. So when they say, when I asked how long does it take me, or what did I say? How far is it to go someplace? And they say 2 hours. I said, how far, not how long. But it will take you 2 hours because everyone drives 70 miles per hour or something like that, 75. Because there's a speed limit everywhere. I said that's the problem in Germany. In Germany, you drive 200 kilometers, and one can do it in 1.5 hours. The other one, it takes 3 hours to go there, depending on the speed he's driving.
Yeah, although the roads have speed limits, you're not forced to drive it.
No.
Okay, it's illegal if you drive above them and you get caught. But,
yeah.
It's like on the motorways here. It's 70 miles an hour. You'll be driving along at 70 miles per hour, and somebody will overtake you.
Yeah.
So they're clearly doing 80, 90, or 100.
Yeah, not in the US.
Oh no,
except for the trucks.
People speed in the US.
Well, I haven't seen anyone speeding except for the trucks in the US. But the thing is that the perception is different. I mean, in Germany, you say to go to the city, how far is that? That's about 250 kilometers. Then you can calculate yourself how long it will take you. In the US, they say it's 2.5 hours to drive there. So, then you think 2.5 hours. The same is with the consumption of petrol. They don't say you have 10 liters per 100 kilometer. They just say you have so many gallons, yeah, per mile or something, or whatever. So
Miles per gallon, yeah.
Miles per gallon, right?
Miles per gallon. That's what we use as well here.
Yeah.
For our fuel efficiency and everything on our vehicles,
And
we talk about miles per gallon.
We use liters per 100 kilometer. So the distance is fixed. Now you can say, but if the 100 kilometer go uphill or downhill, it's a difference.
Most important thing is you're using the same sort of measurements. You're not mixing. You know, you're doing miles per gallon or liters per kilometer. You're not doing like liters to light years, or
No.
you're not doing miles to teaspoons. You know.
Yeah.
You're not doing bushels per kilometre. Trying to figure out, okay, how many buckets of petrol is that?
millimeter of rubber usage per 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah, calculated tyre wear, yeah.
I'm in the pump business, and then people go, this pump has to pump such a volume in a certain time, cubic meters per hour or liter per second, or mass flow like kilogram per second or tons per hour or something. But then the US come and they are totally crazy with they have the gallons per minute or stuff, and it's such a crazy thing. I mean, you have to create your own Excel formulas in order to calculate that backwards and forwards, and oh man, so crazy. Why is it not working? And then they have the head in feet. And the lip feed and whatever. Oh, yeah. I harvested the potatoes. How much is your harvesting in bushels per minute?
No idea. No idea. I'll let Millennial Farmer work that one out. What was it? 4,500 litres is a bushel. No, 35, wasn't it? 35? 35 litres was a bushel. My harvester holds, what, 16,000 litres? That's a couple of bushels.
Yeah, a couple.
At least 10 bushels. At least.
How many bushels per square meter do you harvest? Per hectare? Or per acre? It's the bushel density, or whatever it's called.
I can still remember the first time I ever used that expression in my life. And it completely confused a load of people who just could not get their brains around it.
Around what?
Well, I was in Vila Moura in Portugal, and they got the big marina there with all the boats parked in it and all the yachts and all the things. And we were obviously you walk along the marina because there's all restaurants there. So when you're staying there and you go there, go to get your meals in the evening, you pick a different restaurant each night and you sit there and you can watch all these boats parked up. And the first day there, we walked through the marina And everybody was like looking at the boats and going, oh, wow, aren't these all fancy and nice? And I went, yeah, there's got to be at least £10,000 worth of boats here.
10,000.
Yeah. There's got to be at least, 10. And obviously, if you added up the value of all the boats, it would have come to hundreds of thousands, millions even. So technically, I wasn't wrong. Technically, I was absolutely correct in what I said, that there was at least £10,000 worth there. But all these people, all of a sudden, all these people were like jumping in like, no, I think it's this amount of boats. I think it's this value. And I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I was just saying that there's at least £10,000 worth of boats there. And all these...
So the answer should have been, you're correct.
But all of a sudden, all these people were like trying to calculate it out.
But you're correct.
Trying to calculate exactly how much every boat was worth and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no need to. Just say I'm correct and move on. Let's go and get some food. Let's not stand here arguing over the cost of boats that we don't own.
And we'll never own. Train Sim World Roadmap, 27 October.
Good. Trains don't drive on the road. Send them a message telling them they're doing it wrong, Mr. Helgi. They shouldn't be doing a road map. They should be doing a train timetable.
A track map. Rail map.
Yeah. Train timetable is what they need. A road map's no good to them. Unless they want to find their way to a train station, and then once they get there... all this barley. Completed any contracts yet? 16 is locked at 84%. Field 29 is at 25%. Not many of them. Well, at least sell some stuff.
Elite Dangerous is now opening up for everyone to have Horizons, even though they don't have Horizons bought. And all those people who bought Horizons, like me, we will get a paint job for all my ships. Free paint job. You can stick it up your ass. I'm flying in the dark universe with a paint job that nobody looks at.
I bought a game and then a week later Epic give it away for free. Do I get a refund? Of course I don't. That's bullshit.
Just give up. All the potatoes go away, keep the rest. 6,000 additional for the potatoes.
6,000 potatoes?
No, it was less.
Oh,
but I got $6,000 for the potatoes that I sold. Additional to the contract price, which is only paying how much?
You tipped all the potatoes?
9,000. Yeah, no chance. Yeah. Otherwise, the contract wouldn't finish, and I'm not bothering about 1,200 potatoes that are left over.
This is why we never make any money.
They pay at the US mill, they pay 200 for the potatoes. And I got paid 6,000, so you can calculate how many potatoes were left. Not worth bothering.
At least 50, I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely right.
At least 50 potatoes.
I think it was at least 100. It's like this joke that my parents played on the children, and then the children played on the small children. Like, I make a challenge. You go under the table, and I knock on 3 times on the table, and I bet with you will not survive that. What? You knock 3 times on the table, and I don't survive that? Ha! I will. So they go under the table, and you knock twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't knock 3 times, and then the child wants to come out. I won. But no, you have not won. But you knocked on the table. I knocked twice, but I said you will not survive my knocking 3 times. Well, that's not fair. You have to knock 3 times. But that's the joke, you know.
Yeah.
You will not survive because I will not knock 3 times. You get the point? No, what's this?
That's very similar to how it's only going to take 5 minutes to do this field.
Yes.
That's very similar. It'll only take 5 minutes to do this field. We don't tell you when the 5 minutes starts, and we don't tell you if the 5 minutes run consecutively.
So the question is, do I drive next to you with the grain cart, or I start picking up the straw or bale the straw?
I would say bale the straw on this field, because it's a long way from anywhere. You don't want to be driving backwards and forwards with the loading wagons. So I would say bale. Can't move my chair. Oh. Sometimes I hate these PC chairs because they don't wheel freely. I want to get in a comfy position because it's not comfy at the minute.
Let's. I post in the stream now. Why is it called roadmap when this is a train game?
Oh, is Colonel Vale streaming again?
Yeah.
And Agatha Christie or whatever her name is.
No, it's a roadmap guy, the preserved thingy guy.
Not the woman who's never done any streams in her life and never played any games in her life. Who's going to be the greatest community manager ever. Oh, look, hear the sound of Mr. Helgie's fast fingers as he's typing away frantically.
Why is it called a roadmap when it is about trains? It should be a rail map.
He'd been that quick with his fingers last night playing the Name Your Song game. He might have scored more points.
Yeah. But you don't hear them talking?
No, I can't hear anything. I'm not picking up any background audio. Can't hear your washing machine either. She must be broken tonight.
No, washing machine is running.
Must be a night off.
I sold the washing machine. I gave the guy the washing machine to the guy with 100 points.
Which would have been me.
Yeah. You will soon receive it.
I hope it's not a melee.
It is.
Bye.
Nice and fancy meal.
Things way 2 ton.
They are built for life.
Good luck trying to find all 58 fucking transit bolts that they put in there. I used to love that when I worked at Curry's. I used to love that. You'd sell someone a washing machine, and then, you know, they'd take it home, and then a day later or a couple of days later they'd come back to the store. Oh, the washing machine don't work. What do you mean the washing machine don't work? It doesn't work, it's broken. Well, what is it doing?
Did you connect it to the water?
What is it not doing? Well, I switched it on and the water goes in, but it doesn't go round. It just makes an awful noise and then it stops. And the machine starts blowing an alarm at me. And I'm like, okay. And when you bought this washing machine, did you have it delivered by our wonderful delivery and installation team? Oh, no. I wasn't paying for any of that nonsense. So I took it home myself. I put it in the back of the car. I was like, oh,
No.
right, so you took it home yourself, right? And then you unpacked it and then you've plugged it in. Yeah. Okay, so when you unpacked it, before you plugged
the bolts?
Yeah, did you remove the transit bolts? Transit bolts, what are they? They're the thing that stop the machine from spinning around when it's in transit, when you're transporting it. You know? When it's in the lorry being delivered. No.
To protect the bearings.
To protect the bearings and the motor and everything. No. I says, well, that's what you've done then. You see, you've left the transit bolts in, you've switched the machine on, you've tried to run it, and now you probably have broke the machine. I says, but that's user error. That's not covered under your warranty. You do not get a fix for free from me.
I have these parts in my cellar. In case we need to transport the washing machine. The laundry machine.
It's like my mother, when she replaced her washing machine once. She says, oh, this washing machine, it's making a loud noise now. She had an LG direct drive machine. She says, I'm sure the pump's going on it or something, because it makes an awful noise when you're washing. She says, if it was a normal washing machine, she says, I would have sworn the bearings were going, but I know it's direct drive, so it won't have bearings. So she ended up buying another machine. She went out and bought a new washing machine. I says, well, what are you doing with...
The motor still has bearings.
I said, what are you doing with the old machine? She says, well, I'll get rid of it. She says, I don't need an old, broken machine. I says, well, is there anything wrong with it apart from the noise? She says, no, it works perfectly. It just makes a noise. I says, well, can I take it out to the golf club? Because if it works okay, I could use it for washing golf balls in on the driving range and that when we come to wash the balls. She says, yeah, you can take it out to the golf club. I says, fair enough then. I'll come and fetch it. I'll put it in my car and I'll take it out to the golf club. So, of course, I goes to her house, picks the washing machine up. As we tip it up and start carrying it to the car, makes a load of rattling noises. And she says, hang on a minute, once we've got it tipped up, she says, let me just have a look inside at the pump and everything. And she took off this hose connector, and all these like 1p coins and 2p coins and stuff fell out.
Oh man.
Basically, like whenever my dad put his works overalls to the wash, he'd always have like loose change in his pockets. And basically, the rattling and noise she was hearing was the coins in the pump.
But that's how women get rich, you know, emptying all the pockets before putting the trousers in the washing machine.
So of course, took those coins out, put the thing back on. It was as quiet as anything. And that machine carried on running the whole time I was at the golf course, and as far as I'm aware, it's still out there to this day.
So
still running.
You still took it to the golf course?
Yeah, still took it to the golf course. Oh, she'd already bought the new one and paid thinking 800 quid for it. So
yeah, that was okay.
So she didn't need two washing machines.
She was just to get a new washing machine. That was her strategy.
Yeah. Hey, it worked for me. It was fantastic at washing them golf balls. Used to get through freaking hundreds of them.
Like you even washed off the advertisement.
Well, that was kind of the trick, because basically what we would do, because our course was weird, we were surrounded by farmland on 3 sides basically of our course. And what the farmers would do is they would go round and pick up all the balls in their fields, and they would come and try to sell them back. They'd sell the balls to us. We would give them 20p a ball. And basically,
really?
yeah. And what we would do then is we would wash all the balls, and then we'd go through, sort them. Any that were good enough to sell back in the shop, we would have like a big bucket in front of the shop counter where you'd get 7 balls for £4. And if you had if there was any really good balls in there, like Titleist Pro V1s and that, they would be like £1 each. They'd be in a little box on top of the counter. People could buy them for £1 each. But then all the other balls, after they'd been washed, we would put them in these great big tubs. And every so often, once we'd got all the tubs filled, which must have been about 30,000 balls in total, we would drive them to a printing place near the coast. And they would logo the balls up, and we would use them on the driving range then. So our driving range was unique because we used real golf balls on it. We didn't use like range balls or like you know, like these 30% balls or 70% balls. We used proper actual golf balls, so people always got a proper accurate reflection of how they were hitting the ball. And like I say, it was great because, like I say, it didn't hardly cost us anything. Golfers lost the balls. We bought them back at 20p. Put them through a washing machine. Kept our range machines topped up. And you think those balls only got like the range balls only got hit once a day. So they probably only got hit 7 times a week. So they would last ages before they needed to be replaced.
Yeah.
But we'd go through the range balls every so often, and any cracked ones we'd get rid of, and any that had like worn smooth we'd get rid of. We'd pick out, and then we'd just go tip in a tub of new ones every so often to keep the machines topped up. The worst experience though was one summer, we had them all nicked. Over the course of one summer, all our range balls got stolen. Literally, like, the amount was like going down every week.
Hence the range balls.
You know, at the start of the summer, when we went out and picked all the balls up, washed them and put them back in the machines, both machines would be full, holding about 10,000 balls each. By the end of the summer, there was, you know, a couple of hundred in each machine. after we'd been out, picked them all up. We were like, where's all the balls gone? So that was when I then started the rule that we had to pick the balls up every day. We didn't leave them out there overnight.
A different question. When do you do this unboxing video of your honeycomb speed adjusting lever thingy that everyone important gets sent to?
I don't have
like
one.
Squirrel, and he's such a professional. It is sent to the press, like me. He's not press. Believable. He's getting more and more unsympathetic. Yeah. What do you call it? I like him less and less. That's what I want to say. So arrogant.
Yeah, I caught a bit of him. I caught a bit of him streaming.
Like if he buys it, it's not he doesn't buy it, and he doesn't even say it was sent to me for free. You know, that's the thing he should say. I didn't pay for it. Yeah.
It's like I caught a bit of him streaming at the weekend. He was playing some game at the weekend, some rubbish, and somebody in his chat asked him if he ever plays Farm Sim and that, and he was like, "Yeah, I used to play Farm Sim, but when FS19 came out," he says, Giants had changed so much in the game that none of the map makers and mod makers could make maps for it anymore and make mods for the game. So because there's no maps and mods, I didn't play it anymore because it was just very boring. And I'm like,
yeah, it was. There were no mods after 1 week of release.
Yeah, I was
and then
like,
there were
bollocks. No maps and no mods for the game. I'm like, what a complete BS.
I mean, to be honest, he can't play everything. He has to select it, but he should not say such bullshit, you know.
Yeah. I was like, what?
I don't have time to play this rubbish.
I says, yes, there are one or two people that made maps for Farm Sim 17 that have been quite vocal that they don't like Farm Sim 19 and they're not going to make any maps.
Yeah,
right. But that's just one or two individuals who are just idiots. And nobody really gives them a fucking bit of time or any kind of notice at all these days, because
I know that in the beginning it took Giants a lot of time to get the editor right or instructions how to do it. Yeah. It took them quite long.
Yeah, the new placeable system, the documentation for that was a little bit slow. I mean, the editor was out fairly quickly because I had the editor as pretty much as soon as the game came out. Okay. I mean, the editor was only in beta when the game came out, so you could only do basic things with it, but you could still do enough to edit and tweak things. But the fact that he's there on a stream to however many viewers, and he's stating things as being 100% fact when they're actually just complete bollocks, complete bullshit.
Yeah, but as long as he's coming over as confident and meaning it 100%, then everyone believes it.
I mean, if you actually look at Farm Sim 19 as a game, just on Giants Mod Hub alone for Farm Sim 19, that's not taking into account other websites and people like Stevie who have their own pages for mods and that. If you just purely look at Farm Sim 19 and Giants Mod Hub, there are more mods and maps available for FS19 than there was for FS13, FS15 and FS17 combined.
Wow.
Which is one of the reasons why when you go into the mod hub right now in the game, it really takes a long time to load. There's a lot of loading issues with it.
I have right now, not only I don't open it, but I have loading issues with the game.
And
It takes a long time to load.
It does. It does. And that's because the mod hub has grown to such a point that the game actually can't, the game doesn't have enough free memory in its engine to be able to load all the data that is now on the mod hub. Which is why if you actually go into the mod hub and you have your log open in the game and you're looking at the like the log thingy, you will see things like emergency garbage collection being performed, where the game.
But the thing is, what annoys me about Squirrel, I mean, I saw another one who is playing. There's another guy who's playing flight simulators, yeah, and he said, "This is a thing that I have been sent free as a press item to review, but I cannot give you a review before 1st of November or something like that, yeah?
Yeah.
They forbid, but I already have it, and I can show you the unboxing." That's what he did.
Yeah.
And Squirrel is going exactly the same route, sitting there with this package, and it's one of the whatever 100 packages that were sent out, and I'm number 46 who got it, and he's bragging about it, and I don't know, it's such an asshole, you know. I can't stand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the yoke, it's the thing with the throttles and levers and stuff. Yeah.
He was the guy that I was absolutely laughing at on Friday when because he was the guy that was having the big crying session on Twitter because he'd received this email from Twitch along with everybody else who streams on Twitch. I got the email as well, which was just Twitch notifying all streamers to say that as of Friday they would be starting to process the DMCA notices that they had received from companies to do with copyright and stuff like that. And straight away Squirrel's like, "Oh, I've received a DMCA notice." It's like, no, you haven't, Squirrel. But he keeps going on and on and on, and he's like, "Oh, I've got to delete 6 years' work off my channel because Twitch won't tell me which of my content is in breach of the DMCA." And it's like, well, none of your content is. Because you're an idiot, Squirrel. You're stupid. If you read the email properly, it's Twitch is processing notices. If you have done something wrong, you will receive an email.
Detailed information.
Which will then tell you exactly which of your content. Same as on YouTube. I mean, I get it now on YouTube. Like I've got one. Like if I pull up the thing today that I got for my video. In fact, I've got two.
I mean,
the first one I got was
he's doing as if he's the greatest ever streamer on earth.
The lovely Huff video that I put on there today got age restricted by YouTube. Apparently, YouTube viewed the video and didn't believe it was suitable for children, so they've made it 18 plus, which means I can't run any ads on it. I can't make any ad money off of it. But like I got content. I got like here's the one for here's the email I got from YouTube. Content ID. It tells you exactly which video. So it's the highlight Monday Farming Simulator stream, and it tells you what the content is. It's a song called Rolling in the Deep, and it tells you the name of the company that owns the rights to that song. So that is a DMCA type issue. So that tells me straight away I need to go and look at that video because it's got a claim on it. Now, obviously what I can do is I can go into YouTube, I can click on that video, I can click on the claim details and it will show me the song, and then I can click options like I can choose to mute the song, and then YouTube will process the video again and actually try to digitally remove the music, and then that will remove the claim. But if you don't receive any emails like that, then your content has not infringed anything. Your content is perfectly fine.
I don't know why he's so nervous. He's not playing any music in his videos.
Exactly, and that's the bit. He was like, all his tweets were like, "I've never played music in my
But
streams. If there's
the
any
thing
music."
is that he doesn't understand it. He doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, he thinks that he's the only one and the best in the world.
Yeah, he's like, I've never played any music in my stream. If there's any music in my videos, it's part of the games that I've played. And where possible, I always try to turn the game music off. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, you've not got a DMCA. You've read the email wrong. You're panicking. You're burning your channel. You're going through a massive... You're deleting all your videos. You're hitting the panic button. Oh, it's so funny to watch. It was so funny to watch. He's like, oh, I've had to delete 6 years worth of content. Well, here's another suggestion. Why are you leaving 6 years of videos on Twitch? If they're so important to you, why haven't you downloaded them and put them somewhere else?
Yeah.
Why haven't you archived them in some other place? Because again, one of the things I tweeted on Friday was, I bet that there's all these Twitch streamers panicking and deleting all their videos. I said, it's absolutely brilliant for Twitch because they're getting all their server space back.
Yeah, it's good.
They've been storing all these videos for all these years, and now all these big pro streamers are deleting their stuff, panicking. Twitch are going, thank God for that. We're saving all our hard drives now. We're freed up all our hard drives.
But additionally, what annoyed me on this video was that he was unboxing in front of his flight sim rack he has in the background, with all the curved monitor and the lights, the front lights and everything. Unbelievable. I mean, he's so important. I like the Shed Boy better.
Shed Boy?
Absolutely.
Shed Boy? Who's Shed Boy?
You know Shed Boy.
What?
The guy who's streaming in his shed in the garden.
Jimmy Broadbent, the racing driver.
Yeah.
I watched a video. I watched a video of his today. He went to a pub that is owned by James May. He was invited to go to the pub that James May has bought. The guy that's on Top Gear and Grand Tour.
Okay.
The English guy, the old guy. He got invited along to the opening of this pub and got to have a meal with all these people. He says I felt so out of place. He says, I'm sat there surrounded by
old guy.
He says, I'm surrounded by all these people. He says, I ain't got a clue who they are. He says, I'm just a guy who plays video games in a shed. He says, I'm not famous.
Yeah.
But then he's like...
But he's more famous than Squirrel.
He's like, he gets
at least with all the people he met, and he's racing with all the big guys, he's invited.
He got to ask James May questions outside the pub, have like a bit of an interview with him, which ended up turning into a James May's teaching the guy all about bicycles. Because Shed Boy wants to get into cycling so he can like stay fit and lose weight and stuff. And James May's apparently a big cyclist. And he was like, yeah, you want to get this kind of bike or this kind of bike, or you want to buy this bike, but then you want to change the derailleurs and change the wheels. And he says, in actual fact, he says, I've probably got a bike I could sell you, he says, because I've got loads of them. He says, I've probably got one I could sell you for about 700 quid. And then Shed Boy was like, this is unbelievable. He says, James May's going to sell me a bike. I'm going to have James May's bicycle, he says.
And sign it for me, please.
And then Shed Boy's like, oh, I've got to go back inside now because apparently the bacon sandwiches are being served. Because he went to this pub and he basically got to have like a meal at the pub to try some of the cuisine that the pub will be serving to people. Then they got to have a load of like wine and beer and stuff. Then they got to stay the evening because there's some rooms that you can rent, a bit like a bed and breakfast type deal. And then the next day, everybody got to have like bacon sandwiches and stuff and then piss off home sort of thing. So he was like, oh, I've got to go now. He says, my bacon sandwich is ready because apparently he says, I'm leaving early, so mine's been done first. James Maid's like, that's okay. He says, it gives me a chance to get me tablet, he says, and then I can come and show you some of these bicycles, he says. He's like, Shed Boy's there trying to eat his bacon sandwich and James May's showing him these bicycles on the iPad. He's like, you want to buy this? If you can buy one of these bikes, this is the bike you want to get, he's telling him. And it's like,
he probably paid $5,000 for it. Huh?
It's an unbelievable experience. And I like it. Shed Boy's like, I've got to ask. He says, I've got to ask you the question. Why have you bought a pub?
He's very direct.
Yeah, he says, why have you bought a pub? And James May's like, well, he says, like a lot of grown men and a lot of old men, I like to go to the pub. He says, I like the pub. He says, and unfortunately, in this little town, this little village that I live in, he says, there isn't a pub. Which means if I want to go to the pub, I've got to drive. And you can understand all the dilemma that causes nowadays, he says. Yeah. You can't exactly drive to the pub and then drive home again. There's
so I bought a pub.
So he says, I've bought one in my village. I've built one so I don't have to drive, he says. He says, but obviously, he says, I don't know much about running pubs, so I've got a bloke to do all that for me, he says. And basically that bloke over there, he's got the job of running it and making it work properly, he says. That's his job. Yeah, it was quite funny watching Shed Boy with James May. I watched it.
But that's not scientific enough for Squirrel. Yeah. Squirrel has to have the highest scientific detail, and he doesn't know anything about science, but he likes to give the aura of having the knowledge eaten with the spoon as a child. That's what we call in German. He ate the intelligence with a spoon.
That's the number one thing that irritates me most about him. If he plays a game or something and he doesn't know anything about it, yet he will reel off information as if it's the facts. That he's the expert in everything. Even though what he's telling you is complete rubbish and is completely wrong. Rather than him hold his hands up and say, this is a new game, I've not played it, I don't know anything about it, I'm figuring it out as I go along. He just makes stuff up and then tells it to people as if it's fact, and it's like, I can't stand it. He would
never commit to be wrong. It's always other people are wrong.
Sherlock Jones. Hello, Sherlock Jones. Welcome to the stream. What map are you on, pal? This is Snetterton's Farms by Stevie. Also known as Lakeland Vale 3, depending on where you find it, where you download it from. If you download it from Stevie's page, it'll be Snetterton's Farms or Lakeland Vale 3. he uses both terms for it. Some of the dodgy mod sites will probably have it as Lakeland Vale 3 because I think they stole an early version of the map and uploaded it. That wasn't me. I didn't do it. I did not leak the map.
Where do I go with the bales?
I would take the straw bales to the silage fermenting machine at the farm. These are just normal straw.
Next to the farm sales.
Next to the farm sales, yeah. Chuck them all in the fermenting silo. And we'll make silage out of them. Because as regular straw bales, they're not worth a lot of money to sell. Compared to like canola straw or soybean straw or corn straw. And I believe we've got quite a bit of straw in the silo for like the cows and stuff. But we can always chuck more. Because the good thing about the silo near the animals, is that silo will let you put bales into it and then let you get the loose grass back out. The loose straw back out.
Good.
So yes, Snetterton's Farms. It's a nice map. I really enjoy it. I've really enjoyed all of Stevie's maps. But of course, if you believe Squirrel, this map doesn't exist because no one does any maps or mods for Farm Sim. So
the circle closes.
I don't know what I'm playing on, and I don't know what I'm driving, because this doesn't exist either, this harvester.
Shit.
You know, my truck
Lost all my bales.
my truck and trailer doesn't exist. Because, you know,
There must be some invisible gap. And now my bales are in the river.
you've lost all your bales.
There was some invisible barrier here in the road. And now hold on. I got them. They were still there, but hanging somewhere far away.
Did the autosave kick in then and kick all the bales off your trailer?
Could be. That could be, yeah.
Yeah, if you're driving down the road and the bales suddenly fly off your trailer, it's usually because the autosave is kicked in, which on the multiplayer means that the autoload script gets stopped and restarted again.
They were floating in the river down 50 meters away from the truck, but when I drove backwards and forwards, they were also driving backwards and forwards.
Which is
so
like
I said, okay, they might still be on the trailer.
Which is
so
like what
I unloaded them.
That happened to you last night as well. That happened to you last night as well, when you were like, "Oh, it hasn't picked up that last bale," and I turned the camera around and it was floating about 50 meters behind you. I was like, "I can see it. It's there. It's 50 meters behind you." Yeah, some script mods have a bit of an issue on servers. I think, again, because of the lag on the servers at times, the scripts don't run properly and stuff gets a little bit screwed up. You know, like you go to autoload bales and they're a bit indecisive.
Yeah, but talking about Stevie's maps, I find that each map he comes out with is an improvement of the map before.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like he's learning and the map is evolving.
I haven't actually looked at the Fenton Forest update he did. I don't know whether you have. Have you seen the bridges put on that map?
No.
He's put a new bridge in the map. You know when we played the 4X,
big one?
the big bridge over from the main island onto the other onto
yes,
that second.
I know that.
Yeah, that bridge.
To the other big fields, yeah.
To all the big fields, yeah. He in his new version, he's got rid of that bridge. That bridge is gone, and he's got a new type of bridge instead. It's actually one that actually like rotates. So when the bridge is open, all the ships can go past it on both sides.
Ah, okay.
And there's no way across. So when you drive up to you want to go across the other island to do the big fields. Once you get to the thing, you get out your tractor, you go to the control box, you press the button, and the bridge turns into place, rotates into place, and you can drive across. And then when you get to the other side, you hit the button on the other side, and it opens up again to let the ships by. It's very clever. Really nice how he's done that. The only thing for me though is I've played the normal Fenton Forest map. I've played the 4X one twice because I did it in single player and I did it in multiplayer with you. So I'm like, I really don't want to do it for a fourth time. As much as that bridge is really nice and you've made loads of changes to the map and you've added some new things, I just don't want to play that map for a fourth time.
If you didn't have any alternatives, it would be good.
But again, 4X for just me and you, it's a bit too big.
Yeah. You rather do it in single player.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to do a fertilising contract that makes you like 300,000. 300,000 bucks, you know, for a bit of a fertilising, you know. I don't necessarily like the sugar beet and potato harvesting that takes us 2 days to do. I'm not talking in-game days here, people. I'm talking real-life days. I don't know how many in-game days it took us to do those fields. Sugar beet and potato contracts. Mr. Helgi doing one field where he could barely get halfway down a row before he's filled all 3 trailers. And then he's got to take all 3 trailers and empty them. Come back. He manages to get to the end of the row, and then he's got to empty them all again.
That was hell.
And then if the follow me mod screws up, he ends up with all his trailers in the water. And then it's like, oh crap, someone's got to get the trailers out of the water, because if we reset them, we lose all the crop. And then we can't complete the contract. I think that was probably the first time you've panicked on the server.
Yeah, that made me quite nervous, yeah, to say the least.
I was like, oh no, Mr. Helgi's done a Jacob.
Yeah. Sank the ferry.
Sank the ferry, yeah. That was a night as well. Oh, that was just a nightmare, that was. I don't know how many times you tell the kid not to do something and he just does it. Just goes and does it. There must be a thing about children.
Yeah, that's not the game for him. I mean,
it must be terrible being his parents. Hey Jacob, don't go stick your fingers in that plug socket over there. Oh, he's gone and stuck his fingers in the plug socket. Jacob, don't drink from the blue bottle underneath the sink. It contains bleach. Oh, look, Jacob's drank from the blue bottle.
Why is your skin so white?
He's Michael Jackson in disguise. Yeah. That's it. I love that when he was in South Park. That was brilliant. That was. He rolls up, rolls into town. My name's Michael Jefferson.
But coming back to Squirrel, I mean, it's fair if he says, "Well, I don't have time to play this time-consuming farm simulator game anymore. There are other people playing it, and there's not much more to reveal with this game. Everything is said and done, and it's just a repetitive thing." You can say that, but not saying some bullshit like there are no mods, no maps, no blah blah blah.
Yeah, just basically.
I don't have time to play this game anymore. He doesn't play ATS, he doesn't play ETS. He started playing it. And he also says that in the beginning of the year, he had some burnout. I don't know from what he has a burnout.
Or if he just came out and was 100% honest and said, the reason I don't play Farm Sim is because they don't pay me to play it.
Yeah, fine.
If they sent me loads of freebies and free stuff, I would play their game. But because they don't send me free stuff, I'm not playing their game. I would rather keep playing. I'd rather play stuff that's rubbish because some companies sent me a controller in the post. You know, somebody sent me a fucking flight stick, so now I feel obligated to play Flight Sim.
But he's not even telling in the beginning. I didn't watch it through. To be clear, I did. But in the beginning of the video, he should say, "This is a free item for me to give a review later." Yeah, and I'm doing an unboxing now. Can't say anything about it.
If it's a video on YouTube, it should have a great big stamp on it in the bottom corner that says "Paid Product Placement."
Yeah, it is. But he didn't say. I checked it.
Well, he's wrong then, because he's supposed to tell you stuff like that. If he's being given stuff by companies, which he's then reviewing,
I'm
or
100% sure
promoting,
that he didn't buy it. I'm 100% sure.
yeah, then it contains paid product placement. They've basically given him the thing so that he
Because
can
there was
go,
another one who has the same box received in advance, and he says that's because I can give a review later, but it's I have to tell you, this is nothing I bought. They give it to me for free to tell about it, to show about it. Yeah, you know.
it's like me. If I was doing this video on YouTube and I had this can of Pepsi in my hand, and this can of Pepsi had been given to me by Pepsi for free, they'd given it to me with the express instructions that I drink it on my stream and I tell people how wonderful it is, and you know,
Yeah.
and I
What do you
like
do then in
Pepsi a
this
lot.
case? You are
What I
doing
have,
something against the small print of Twitch, you know.
yeah, what I have to do is I have to make sure on the video there is a big stamp in the bottom corner that says this video contains paid product placement.
Yeah.
And like I say, if someone like Squirrel's not doing that, then he's breaking the law. He's breaking the... Not only like Twitch, but he's breaking YouTube as well, because you have to tick the box that says product placement. The reason why he wouldn't want to tick the box is because if you have a paid product placement in your video, you can't monetize it. Because the company is paying, that's giving you the item that you're talking about, or you're including in your video.
You already have been monetized.
Yeah, you've already been monetized by the fact that they've given you. So YouTube are like, well, you're not getting paid twice. Or Twitch is like, you're not getting paid twice because the company's not giving them anything. So of course, most people are like, oh well, we won't tick the paid product placement box, and then we can get paid twice then, because we get the money from the company that's given us the product, and then we can also get the money from Twitch and YouTube.
I mean, he lives from
naughty
this YouTube stuff and everything, and he has a expensive hobby, flying, real life flying. He showed a video the other day.
I did.
Which I haven't watched.
I haven't watched that video. I saw the thumbnail for the video and I took one look at it and thought, well, that's not very good, is it? There's not a lot of social distancing going on inside that cockpit.
True.
Neither of them are wearing a mask. That's not good COVID protocols. And he's up there flying.
I didn't think about that.
And he's up there flying around in the sky, spreading COVID everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I took, just from seeing the thumbnail of the video. And I was like, then I'm definitely not watching that, because I don't want to encourage that kind of behaviour.
Do you see any bales? I mean, that wasn't that big a field, but codle and crabs, you see the bales even in the distance. I mean, not that I was on such a big field. Not sure if such a big field exists at all in this game.
In cottle and craps, they don't have big fields in cottle and craps. They feel big because you're working them with like a 1 meter freaking plough.
Everything else is small.
That's how they trick you into making you think the fields are big. They just give you small tools.
Yeah.
But the number of times where I'm trying to plough or cultivate or seed a field, and I'm having to drive all over another field to turn around in cattle and crops because the fields are close together and they're small. It's like just plough them together and make a big field. I'm guessing you can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, 2 contracts are finished.
Where do I want to go? I want to go to the farm.
I am not going to complete the contracts yet because there's still straw to pick up. Is there still straw on field 16?
No.
You've done field 16, okay. I'll bring this barley back to the farm. I've got 29,000 litres. So I'll take that round and put in the silo next to the.
I think I picked up the bales on field 16. I don't, yeah.
And that can all go.
Maybe can you check on field 16 if there are some bales?
I can have a
Maybe
whiz
I
round there.
forgot some.
Just avoid driving all over the soybeans on field 4. That wouldn't be good for anybody if I drove all over the soybeans on field 4.
It's not our field. Yeah, it is our field.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's why I'm like, yeah, do you make sure I go take a nice wide berth around the corners so the trailer doesn't cut across the edges of the field.
Yeah.
Cause
That's the only dangers
destruction.
in this area. Yeah. That you have to be careful.
In the silo.
Okay, now autosave this time.
Autosave. It's weird because I didn't think the autosave was supposed to, I think when you I always thought that when you use the server, the mod save games for saving on the server, it disables the autosave. And what the mod does is it only saves when everybody's logged out.
I just wondered, why do I not get these 3 bales of my trailer? The machine is full. 500,000 liters.
Have a run down to field 16 and see if there's any bales over there. Shouldn't be. Just pick them all up.
I should have picked them up. Yeah. Oops.
Oh, there's a bale. There's a bale.
Really?
There's loads of bales. What?
Where?
You haven't picked them up on field 16 yet then. You're obviously working your way back from field 29 to field 16.
Did you forget them? That's why I can't remember doing it.
Because you've not. You've gone straight down to field 29 and bailed field 29, and then you started collecting the bales on.
Where are these bales going? Underneath the trailer or show you a trick? I'm a magician.
Yes.
Oops. I have to go to the toilet now, but maybe you make sure that my green truck gets some petrol.
Green truck. My harvester needs petrol. Or diesel. Whichever one it takes. Diesel. Red diesel probably. It's an agricultural machine. So no tax paid on red diesel. Duty free. I have to give this a bit of a spring clean once I get it back to the I'm going to go up this way, I think. With a snake on. To go round and up.
I have to call the fuel rats. Do you know the fuel rats?
Fuel rats?
The fuel rats.
Fuel rats to come and bring you some fuel.
Yeah.
You mean, do you need a thunder?
We don't have a thunder.
You need a thunder?
But there's some small tank.
Thunder.
If
Thunder.
It's not a problem. We've got 1.2 million.
do we have one as a lot?
Thunder. Storm. Thunder.
We
Storm.
can have.
Thunder. Storm. Thunder.
We can
Storm.
have the FST.
Thunder. Storm. Thunder. Storm.
In the past?
Yeah, I ran across the yard to do that. It's interesting anyway.
The one that repairs as well?
Yeah. One that repairs as well.
Why is he sitting so angled, this guy?
You in
In
the red,
your case?
in my red case? Because I've spun the seat to the optimum driving position.
I don't believe it. I'm driving always in the wrong direction. Sitting angled. Where's the spawn point for the stuff?
Down at the store.
Huh?
Down at the shop, the main shop. Do you want it moving to the farm?
Yeah.
And then you can fuel it up from the farm as well then, can't you? Next to
Yeah.
the where's my little doodah widget? There it is. I mean, you could have reset it yourself. You do have the privileges
What? To what?
to reset vehicles.
You mean the thunder?
You could have reset the Thunder and moved it to the farm, yeah.
Yes, but only when I know that it is bought and you know exactly when you buy it. And you just press reset. Where is it now?
It should be next to the farm silo. In front of the shed. Where you park your harvester.
There it is.
Thunder.
Just didn't remember where the reset point is.
I had to laugh the other day on his video because he didn't say thunder in the video. Because he's had a bit of a problem the last few days. I don't know whether you've noticed with his voice when he's been speaking.
I didn't watch videos of him.
He's put it down to like dust from the harvesting has given him a bad throat, sore throat. All the dust and stuff from harvesting, so it's made him.
No, that's COVID. It's Corona. Why he has a bad.
It's made him lose his voice. But in one of his videos, he was doing something with the thunder truck, and he never said thunder. And all the people in the comment section of the video were like, "You didn't say thunder! I'm unsubscribing."
No, he can't. Huh? It's a deep voice. Can't do it.
I expect you to say thunder. I demand it. You have one job. You only have one job, Millennial Farmer. You've got to say thunder every time you pick up the fuel truck. Well, I liked it in his video the other day. He was like, he says, "Don't worry, guys." He says, "When I get to work, I'll only be working in a northwesterly direction." He says that way, all you people at home won't get snow on your TVs or computers or phones. He says.
The thing that I wanted to show you actually is
when you go over the farm silo with the bales, it takes all the ones off the bottom and then the other ones stay floating in the air.
I have only one bale here, but I had three are here. When I load them, now there are three. when I was next to the silo, it only loaded one. I'm not sure where the other two went. Under the floor or something. Now I have them. And I'm refueled. I was able to do it.
He's
Now I tell the helper to drive back to the farm while I pick up the rest of the bales. But it's not codle and crabs, it doesn't work.
Amazingly, my harvester is not. Although on the Doodly Wahoo, it's saying it needs repairing. It's not showing up as needing repairing in the menu. So, $824. It didn't tell me I needed to repair it, but on the little thing on the right-hand side of the screen, it says it needed repairing. But in the garage, it says.
Yes. There are bales lying around here in this field.
On field 16, yeah, somebody
Nobody
forgot all about them. Somebody had a senior moment.
Yeah, demence.
Somebody's starting to come down with a bit of dementia.
Yeah.
He needs to pull himself together and snap out of it.
I have a good and a bad news for you. Uh-oh. What's the bad news? You have a deadly illness. Oh my God. How long do I have? 2 days. Oh my God. But what's the good news then? You also have dementia. And when you leave this room, you forget about it. That's really black humor.
Well, it's a bit like do you want the bad news or do you want the very bad news? Well, I'll have the bad news, please, Doctor. Well, the bad news is you've only got a week to live. Okay, so what's the very bad news? Well, I should have probably told you 3 days ago.
So I can put bales in the silo. Let me see. Oh, wow. Perfect. They're all gone. He's not lying.
And then I always remember the other joke as well, which is quite funny. From I think who it was. Dave Spikey used to hang around with Peter Kay. I think he did it in one of his shows type things, where he's a patient in hospital and he's in the bed and he's got the mask on and everything, and you know, and everything, and the nurse comes up to him and it's like,
oxygen.
Nurse is like, "How are you feeling today, Mr. Spikey?" And he's like, "Oh, okay. If you need anything, you just need to ask." And he's like, "Nurse?" She's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Are my testicles black?" He's like, "I beg your pardon?" He's like, "Are my testicles black?" And she's like, "Well, I'll have a look." So she pops up his gown and has a bit of a look. She says, "No, they're perfectly fine. Look all right to me." Anyway, later on, she comes round again to do the observations and everything, and once again, Mr. Spikey's there, and he's like, "Nurse, are my testicles black?" She's like, "No, Mr. Spikey, your testicles aren't black." He's like, "Are my testicles black?" She's like, "No, I've already told you this. I checked them earlier. They're perfectly fine." Anyway, later that evening, she comes round to do the next set of observations, and again, Mr. Spike is there. "Nurse, are my testicles black?" She's like, "For the last time, Mr. Spikey." Look at this. So she pulls his gown up, pulls the covers back, and she grabs hold of his testicles and she picks them up and says, look, they're perfectly fine, look. Perfectly pink and fluffy testicles. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. They are fine. And Mr. Spikey removes his mask and says, nurse, are my test results back?
So what is he thinking she's looking for?
That's an old joke, but it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think
That only works in the original language. You know, I have some German jokes as well in this direction, but they don't translate.
I'll even put
So
some fuel.
yeah.
Put some fuel in Mr. Helga's Fendt. Yep. Fully fueled up. Don't know what he wants to do with it next.
I think you set the speed at a perfect ratio. I think 2 is perfect.
2 times.
It's not too quick. It's not too quick. Not too far. Not too slow.
No, because once you start doing some of these contracts and that, it does whittle through the time fairly quickly. And like I say, there's like a day or two. We seem to have it at the moment where we get a day or two in game where we can just all our stuff's done, all our fields are done. We can ignore our fields. Yeah. They're growing. They're quite happy. We can do contracts and stuff like that, and have a couple of days where we do contracts and get all busy. And then once we've done that, then all our fields want harvesting, and then they want fertilizing and cultivating and seeding.
And if you speed it up too quickly, then you don't have time for contracts. So
no.
It's part of the game. Yeah?
You don't have time for contracts, and also if we speed things up too quickly, the animals, we're never going to be able to flipping feed them. Because we're never going to be able to get the crops. We're never going to be able to get the crops grown and harvested and get all the food made. Plenty of silage in there. That's TMR mixer still going. 77,000 litres of pig food still. Nice idea to move that. Thing is, the trailer will not be in the way. I know what I need to do as well. I need to refuel my red truck. I need to put a bit of red diesel in the red truck.
Red diesel?
Red diesel? Yeah, do you have red diesel? That must be a thing in Germany as well.
Yeah, I think it is coloured.
Farmers and that use that in all their vehicles because it's basically diesel that they don't have to pay any like duty or tax on.
Yeah, that's what the people filled their old Mercedes with. And they were smoking when they were driving.
That's the only downside to it, because it contains a chemical and a dye. It causes the emissions from your car to go a funny colour, and then when you look at when you go to a garage and they check your fuel filters and everything, they're all stained like red and pink, which tells them that you've been using red diesel in your car. And then they report you because you're not supposed to use it, obviously, in a road vehicle, because you need to pay your tax. You need to pay your tax and duty and stuff.
Yep. Okay then.
Oh, he's calling it a night.
It's 10 o'clock. You have to drink something. Be right back.
I think Mr. Hogan forgot to put his clock back. Mr. Hogan needs to put his clock back an hour. Then it would be 9 o'clock. And it'd be early. so the pig food's going well. 70 odd thousand litres here. Fair bit now in the silo, I'm guessing. Pig food, pig food, pig food. 60,000 litres, could do with more, ideally.
I also get some time to rewatch Train Sim Stream, what they have to say about their rail map.
You also get plenty of time to rewatch Don't Hassle the Hog.
I watched this. Yeah, that must have been some 15 years ago, because he was still looking pretty good. Not so artificial as it does today after his many surgeries he obviously had. He's probably have the same doctor as Michael Jackson.
I remember in the TV show South Park, there was an episode in that once where one of the characters called Mr. Garrison went to a place called Tom's Rhinoplasty, and originally he was going to have a nose job, but then he decided to have a full face job. It was so funny because after he'd had his surgery, he come out looking like David Hasselhoff, and it's just like a photo of David Hasselhoff on the screen.
Oh my!
Replace the cartoon, because obviously South Park is a cartoon.
Yeah, clear. But if they do everything, yeah.
So it's like it's basically like David Hasselhoff's face and the mouth moves, and it's like it's so funny. He's walking around David Hasselhoff's face.
But in the end, they all look the same. Yeah, after 5 surgeries, they all look the same. Like Mickey Rourke, yeah. Absolutely crazy, these guys.
Well, Mickey Rourke was weird because he had loads of plastic surgery, and then he quit acting and went off to become a professional boxer. So then he got punched in the face for many years and got his face absolutely beaten up. And then he was like, okay, I'm done boxing now. I'll have a bunch of plastic surgery to try and fix my face, and then I'll go acting again. So when you see him in like Iron Man 2, that's like...
Then he's just a maniac Russian then.
Yeah.
That's what he can play.
You see him in that film, you think his face is just wrecked at that point. It's like 2 lots of surgeries. God knows how many years boxing in between. It's like, yeah, your face ain't going to look good, is it? You know? It's why you shouldn't use your face to try and stop people's fists and feet.
No.
Bad idea.
Okay, Chris, good night.
Good night, Mr.
Take care.
Early.
See you tomorrow, maybe
Speak to you
late
tomorrow.
night. Bye.
Bye. Crashed into the cows. Right, let's have a look. Cows. So they're full of silage. Ooh. Don't know what to give them, you see. We really need like TMR and stuff. What I also need to do as well, like I said, was fill my red truck. I need to fill my red truck. Some diesel. See, I was under the impression that I could use like the canola straw, soybean straw and corn straw to feed the animals, like the cows. But it's not giving me any options on there. So I wonder if that means that it has to be added to the map. It has to be added to the animal husbandry contained within the map. That the food the cows will eat, the animals will eat this, this, and this. I thought the Straw Me mod did that more or less by itself. Plenty of corn in there. But right now we're really struggling because we don't have soybeans, canola or sunflowers, which is a bit of a problem. Which is a bit of a problem. Those are the things that the pig food machine will need. Let me go quickly check as well on the greenhouses, because obviously it's another day now. One more day further on than we was the other day. Still at 70% there, 70%, 70%, 70%. So that's all working well. What I ought to do is pay off some more of the loan. Bring that down to 1.1 million. Still keeps us above 1 million cash flow. Trying to wonder what the next things we will be buying is. What equipment we're going to need to invest in next. We've got the potato harvester. That's quite nice. I don't know whether to go for a cotton harvester. I don't. Of our own. Because we do have, like I say, we do have a contract available at the minute for cotton harvesting. Trouble is we don't have any modded cotton harvesters, although there is one supposedly due out on the mod hub anytime now, sort of thing. It has been in testing, I do believe. There's a machine that does harvesting, and then there's like a separate baler that will do like cotton bales. That's going to be interesting to look at when that comes out. Got the John Deere. No real advantage, though, that I see to using... The John Deere makes smaller capacity bales. It's twice as expensive. What I do miss is the multi-fruit header thing. That would have done cotton. I've got it on my other Snetterton's farm, my single player save, because I guess I've got the triple wide header pack installed. I was thinking about getting rid of our trailer, because that holds 45,000 litres, and maybe getting a Stroutman, which is 52,000 litres, which is obviously a bit more, just for shuffling backwards and forwards when we're doing things like feeding the animals. I could get something like a pace setter, A-train, tiny little machine. I think that's, is it 60,000, 30,000, or is it 50,000, 40,000? I've forgotten how the breakdown is on this. forgotten how it breaks down between the two different trailers. So yeah, all our fields are okay. I don't think anything is ready harvesting at this point. Someone's missed a bit of field 11. Missed a little bit along the top there. Well, I suppose technically one thing I could do if I really did want to make some grass fairly quickly, could mow round field 11 like field 12. That would give me some windrow. That would give me some grass, wouldn't it? Might just have a quick trip round all the factories to see how the factories are doing. Three pallets of sunflower oil. 4 pallets of flour. Have a run up the road. The chip factory. We're going to have to get the cheese factory now, because obviously we've got cows. That reminds me. Cheese. About 1800, 1900 bucks in that sort of price mark. And milk on its own is 600 bucks, 700 bucks. Around that mark. And what about homogenized long life milk? 1,000 bucks. So long life milk is more expensive than regular milk, so it's definitely worth moving the milk to long life, but it's also worth taking milk and doing cheese, because that's like fucking print license to print money. Look, 1,844 bucks. License to print money. Why have I got the alfalfa fermenting silo? Weird. I'm going to have to go and turn that off. I'm going to have to go visit the silo. Bags of chips. We have got 3 pallets. Or 2 and a bit. Bags of crisps. And then, obviously, our sugar factory has got 3 pallets and is started on the 4th. So, there's my big boy quad track. I did the ploughing contract with that last night on field 22. This field here, I did a contract on that ploughing contract. It took me a long time, but it was got me 33 grand. Kept me busy. It kept me busy. Alfalfa fermenting silo by Stevie. So that's the building. There. Now it's gone. I can press L3 without opening any menus. Again, don't know why it does that on a server. It doesn't do it in single player. It only seems to be global company mods on dedicated servers that get this issue where the menu gets stuck. I don't quite know how to fix that, if I'm being honest with people. One thing I should probably do, bear with me, I keep noticing my webcam is really bad. And it's because I've got it set on the lowest possible settings. And if I put it up where it wants to be, it might be a bit higher now, which means you guys might be able to see my head Or you kind of see the ceiling a lot more, and I'm kind of low down in the frame. Move it up. Of course, I'm wearing my Millennial Farmer hat because, you know, I'm playing Farm Sim. Got to look the part, haven't I? Got to look like I know what I'm doing. Got to look professional, but at the same time, because I've been recording Formula One today, I'm obviously wearing my Mercedes Petronas t-shirt, Mercedes shirt, team shirt. Even though I drive for Haas in my career mode. Is that a conflict of interest? Should I be getting myself a Haas shirt? Or would it just be easier for me to change teams? Sign a contract with Mercedes. Replace Billy Bottas as the team's #1 driver. I could do. Right, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I could just very quickly go and do some grass then, I suppose. Mr. Helgi's done GPS. He's upgraded this to have GPS now. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to buy another mower now because I didn't want a mower with GPS. I don't want to do straight lines with a mower. I like being free and spontaneous. There's our cows. Moo. 80 of them, I think. I think it was 80 cows. Might be too many. For our little farming operation. Gonna need to buy some more fields soon. Let's get more stuff planted then. I could see us definitely needing like more grass fields. Just for doing specifically grass. More fields for like alfalfa. Also a few trees down this edge of this field that I might be tempted to come round and remove. You know? With the I think we've got the brooks installed. Brooks Big Daddy. Yeah, there's plenty of wild grass you can mow. Look. At least another 2 mowers widths down that edge there. There's a fair bit of grass windrow that you can get just by mowing round your fields. I know on a couple of my fields, like field 12, field 9, I've painted round the field to remove the grass. But that's because those fields have got alfalfa planted on them, and I don't like the grass and alfalfa mixing when you're mowing. Because it causes problems when you're trying to pick it up. Where basically the grass and the alfalfa keep cancelling themselves out. in the baler or loading wagon. They keep fighting over who gets to fill the trailer. Because the trailer's not smart enough just to pick up everything in one go. It's like, no, I only want to take one type of crop at a time. Whereas in real life, if you had a loading wagon and you drove over a grass swath and an alfalfa swath, it would suck them both up quite happily. You just end up with a trailer with alfalfa and grass mixed in it. Ooh, hit the flipping gate, didn't I? That's not good. Well be. I've managed to free myself. There we go. I think I should do another quick whiz round the field. This time I don't have to weave around all over the place. This is pretty good going, this. Plenty of windrow. Obviously feed the sheep and the cows. Thing is, it doesn't actually destroy the wheat. Doesn't cause crop destruction. It's good to know. Pick that up. And then that'll be it for tonight, I think. I can finish eating the rest of my dinner, which has gone very cold now. But at least we'll be rocking. Did I collect the contracts? I didn't. Not now. Oh yeah, if you don't like the... That's doing the door. Doing the window. It's doing the door. Left. Left button does the spins the chair back round the correct way. I can rotate the chair up to the side. It's more useful when you're doing something like cultivating or seeding to have that functionality. Because that way you can be kind of sat in a position, a bit like I am now, because my steering wheel is here. And if this was like a real tractor, sitting at an angle like this allows me to look out the front and also behind me. You know, out the back window fairly easily. Whereas if I was sat like properly square on, I want to see what's going on with the seeder or cultivator behind me, I've got to turn the way round, which is not good for your neck and your back to do all that twisting, especially if you've got neck and back issues like I have. So that's why it's always nice to sit, like I say, at a bit of an angle to the front of your machine. Of course, for me streaming, I do that just so I can stretch my legs out and be more comfortable. Because obviously my PC and desk are here, right in front of me. My PC's on the floor directly below where the camera is mounted, so I can't put my feet under the desk. Which means a lot of the time when I'm sat at this computer doing work, doing streaming or doing my video recording and rendering and editing and all that, I'm actually sat with my legs sort of crushed up underneath me, which is very bad for you. It's often why if I've spent a real long session at the computer, sometimes when I stand up to go to, you know, leave the room, I'm walking like Bambi, taking his first steps, because my legs just like, It's like, oh, they got circulation again. I assume this is going to fill up very, very quickly. Don't imagine for 1 second I will get all the way around the field. Not needing to empty. I've made it up one edge of the field and along the top. Starting the next row. I think I probably ought to do. That squat down. I do like to lower the loading wagon. I don't like it to sit too high. Be really like pressed up against the ground so that if you go over any dips or any hollows, it should still suck everything up. There's a blob of grass there I've missed. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom, boom. Around the manure storage. Right, we'll go and chuck this in the silo. It's what, 136,000 litres I've picked up so far from 2 trips around this field. That's a lot of grass. Might be able to do some regular silage squishing. All lined up on this row. A little bit trickier to see when you've got the in the way. I'm full. Well, is the field that I'm searching for. So what I should do is I should go all the way back around the field, and pick up the rest of that row on the far edge, and then come back down, work my way back to this point, this corner then. And then when I get full, go and empty, and then when I return to the field, start at this corner and work back the other way. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I think that's how I'm going to do it. Nearly finished. One little bit left to pick up, folks. We added quite a bit of grass. Shocking. Covered all of 3 feet and missed about 6 foot of grass. Oh, of course, my excellent case tractor doesn't cause crop destruction. No crop destruction from my case. That's provided the cows with quite a bit of food. Tip this 24,000 litres into the food trough. They'll be very happy. I don't think we've got a grass dryer installed, that's the only thing. I think I'm slightly missing a dryer mod. Yeah, I don't have a dryer installed, do I? There we go. So we've got 615 chickens, 80 cows who are at this moment in time fairly well fed. They've produced 3,000 litres of milk, 5,000 litres of slurry, 4,000 litres of manure. The sheep are quite happy. 120, 132 sheep now. Sheep are slowly reproducing and making the poops too. Nice. So, with that said, folks, thank you for tuning into tonight's stream. I will be back tomorrow. I will hopefully be back during the daytime. That all depends on how quickly the Halloween event for Hunter Classic gets underway. As soon as they update that game, I will be doing some Hunter Classic tomorrow because I want to shoot me some werewolves. Then we'll be doing, obviously, Farm Sim a bit later on. So for those of you that have tuned in today, thank you very much for doing so. I will see you all again very soon. Good night for now, folks. Cheerio.